AMD stock is up 64% since its lows in April. And since my last video I am up 29%. My cost base is around 100. But I believe there's a 5x opportunity here. So obviously AMD stock is still a massive buy. Not financial advice. And in this video I'm gonna tell you why. And the feeling that I get right now is similar to Tesla. I started buying Tesla in 2019 and I still hold it. And you can see the graph. The graph speaks for itself. So let's first talk about catalysts. The first catalyst obviously is MI350, the newest chip for AMD that recently came out. Now this chip is extraordinary for inference, and for training it's on Nvidia's level. It's similar. In some parts it's better, some parts it's worse. But for inference, oh boy, we're gonna talk about inference later in this video. And the thing is that MI400, the next generation chip, is only like a year away. It's coming out in 2026. And presumably it will be 2 times as powerful as 350. So that is very exciting. The next thing is AMD's AI ecosystem and its software stack. Now the difference between AMD and Nvidia is that AMD is open sourced and Nvidia is closed sourced. Think of it like Apple versus Android or Mac versus Windows. Now sure, most of us, for example, using a phone, we go on Facebook, we go on Instagram, we don't care about it being open sourced. But in this environment it's very important. For example, Meta employees didn't want to be boxed in Nvidia's data software ecosystem. They wanted freedom, so that's why they went with AMD. Their LLMs are running on AMD chips, and this is a very important thing for the future, for the opportunity. And the next thing is Xilinx FPGAs, but for we're going to talk about this as well in this video later. So another thing quickly, the valuation for AMD forward PE 33, 34, it's decent, it's good, it's lower than I would expect it to be. That's why the valuation is, I'd say, reasonable. Even if you don't expect a 5x, AMD is still a really great pick. And yeah, they have lots of cash. This is cash flow for AMD since 2010 pretty much. And yeah, you can see that in recent years they have absolutely amazing cash flow. And why it's important is because they have lots and lots of money for R&D, research and development. So yeah, let's quickly talk about a little bit more about Nvidia and why I think that Nvidia being a successful competitor is not a problem. Now first of all, I don't think that this AI is just a market cycle. The same as internet. It's gonna change our world. It's gonna change everything. And there's gonna be totally enough demand for both of these companies. There's enough room for both of them. And even more, probably they will not be able to meet all the demand that's out there within coming years. But they actually have different roadmaps. They are not completely direct competitors. For example, the in-house AI that's running on the device, not in data centers. FPGAs, the one I mentioned before, and the one I'm gonna say we're gonna talk about it later in this video. And another thing is inference versus training. AMD is better at inference, Nvidia is better on training. So let's talk about the differences. Now, and what's the difference between an inference and training? Training is simply training the AI. All the companies in these recent years rushed and bought all the best chips that they could get to train the best AI. But the thing is that you only have to train the AI once. And when you are using it, for example, you're asking what color is a banana for ChatGPT, and it has to think and give you an answer. That is an inference. And that's what AMD is focusing for a long time on. That's where their chips are better than Nvidia's at inference, and maybe not as good in training, because they are thinking long term. They are thinking that we're gonna not only gonna train the AIs, but we're gonna actually use them. And the most important factor here is cost efficiency. The cheapest way to run an inference, that's the most important part for the companies, for the customers who are gonna buy the chips. And MI350, the newest chip, is currently the best one. And yeah, the next part is me asking you to like the video, so I don't get 100 or 200 views, but maybe something more, maybe more people could see my video. And check out this funny article from 2008. And let's read this quote. The bottom line is that AMD cannot beat Intel, not now, and perhaps not ever. And they're talking about CPUs, the computer processors. And you can see that, oh, maybe it's true, but no. You can see how is Intel doing right now, and how is AMD doing right now. Okay, let's continue with the video. And let's continue with, finally, FPGAs. Couple years ago, AMD acquired a company called Xilinx. They have a unique technology that makes FPGAs. FPGAs are chips that's reprogrammable after their manufacture, meaning that the building blocks that make a chip can be rearranged. And why is that important? It's important because neural nets have different needs, and in the future there will be many reasons why we would want to use AI not in data centers but on the device itself. For example, some futuristic smartphone that's running a neural net in it, and it has to be as efficient as possible. It cannot be cooled with giant machines with a liquid or something else. And the only one who has this technology also is Intel. But currently they are focused on surviving. They're focused on cleaning out their company and trying to make it work. They're not competitor here. And yeah, Nvidia is not a competitor here also. And this technology is used in many things right now. For example, in Tesla cars, in 5G telecommunication towers, in AWS, NASA uses this technology also, and many others. So this is not some far distance dream, this is already happening, but it's gonna be more and more important in the future. And yeah, I would like to mention people who trust AMD's chips, who are investing in those chips and building their digital data infrastructure on them. For example, Microsoft Azure uses it for AI training and inferences. Meta is pretty much the most important customer. They are working really closely with AMD. They're not just buying chips and that's it. They have a massive collaboration between both of those company employees. And yeah, they have been running their LLMs, their Llama software on AMD chips, and they are going to continue to do that. XAI, Elon's Grok, is also running on AMD chips. OpenAI is using both Nvidia and AMD chips because they have different strengths, and that is also comes together really well with my point about both of these companies can succeed without problems. Oracle Cloud uses them, Dell AI servers, and many others. So that's why I'm not worried at all about AMD's future. I'm actually very excited. And in my opinion, 5x potential is totally realistic. We're not gonna go in the numbers right now because this video would be too long. I will do that in the future. And even in the worst case scenario, AMD has obvious massive growth potential. Their revenues are fine, it's growing, their valuation is really attractive. And yeah, I personally am buying AMD heavily. But this is not a financial advice. If you want to buy AMD, do your own research. And yeah, I make videos weekly, so what I would like if you subscribed. And remember to like the damn video. Bye!